Shoe Tucker. This disgusting excuse of a man was a state alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist who specialized in creating chimeras. He lived with his wife and young daughter, Nina, and at first, he seemed like a harmless scientist. He looked like a father who will do everything for his kid while fighting for his livelihood as a researcher. But the problem is, this guy is probably the worst father in anime. In order to have a breakthrough, Tucker used alchemy to combine his own daughter Nina with their dog Alexander, turning them into a chimera. And if that wasn't horrible enough, it was later revealed that Tucker had done something similar before. Years earlier, he had used his own wife in one of his experiments. He wasn't doing this because someone forced him. He did it because he wanted to keep his career. If you think Show Tucker is bad, Griffith takes betrayal to an entirely different level. Griffith was the Gojo hair-looking leader of the Band of the Hawk in Berserk. He had a dream of becoming a king, and his followers were willing to risk their lives to make that dream a reality. Together with Guts, the series protagonist, they conquered every challenge and obstacle. However, it all came down when Griffith lost everything after a horrifying series of events. His once majestic and strong appearance was now reduced to a hollow shell. Presented with an opportunity to reclaim the honor he once had, Griffith betrayed his comrades. He sacrificed them just to obtain the power he needs. And what's worse is that he committed probably one of the most known atrocities in the series. Griffith, in front of Guts, do things not good for YouTube to the love of his life. Some fans might say that he is just a victim of his own circumstance, but fudge that and put it in the oven. He deserved the hate, and there should be no debate about that. Danzo Shimura, a ninja wannabe, is probably the reason why there are people who hate ninjas. This old guy genuinely believed that everything he did was for the sake of Leaf Village. He was willing to do everything to gain power and further his beliefs. What made him famous, though, is his atrocities to the Uchiha clan, specifically Shisui. Danzo, the loser that he is, knows that he doesn't have the power to compete with the strongest, so he stole numerous Uchiha's eyes and used it like an armor to boost his level. And this ultimately led to probably the most satisfying beatdown in Naruto's history. Imagine following someone you love into a mysterious tower, only to discover that they never cared about you the way you thought they did. That's basically Rachel and Bam's relationship. Bam enters the tower because he wants to find Rachel. She's the person he trusts more than anyone, but Rachel has her own dream. She wants to reach the top of the tower and see the stars. And eventually, she realizes something. Bam is standing in her way. So during one of the tower's tests, Rachel pushes Bam off a platform, and instead of stopping to help him, she leaves him behind and continues climbing. Bam survives, but that moment completely changes their relationship. Rachel repeatedly lies, manipulates others, and tries to prevent Bam from reaching the top because she sees him as a threat to her dream. And that's why she's so hated. She wasn't just another villain standing in Bam's way. She was the person Bam trusted the most. Mahito might be one of the easiest characters in Jujutsu Kaisen to hate. He's a cursed spirit born from humanity's hatred of other humans, and his ability is absolutely terrifying. Mahito can manipulate the soul itself, allowing him to reshape people's bodies. But what makes him so disturbing isn't just what he can do, it's how much he enjoys doing it. The way how he took advantage of someone's anger and vulnerability was what made him an effective villain. He enjoyed tormenting Yuji. He took two of the closest person of Yuji's life in front of him. For him, it's all fun and games, which probably made people to hate him. But the chase down and clapping that happened afterwards was probably worth the rage. And lastly, this boy in the Into the Forest of Fireflies light. If you watched anime for a long time, you might have trauma that was caused by this little child. And if you were old enough, you might also witness the bashing that he received in a regular basis for a period of time. This little child is the cause of why a pretty wholesome anime turned into one of the saddest and trauma-inducing piece of media. As you can see, this man wearing a fox mask is a spirit entity who will disappear with a touch from a human. Due to this, he lived his life all alone. However, throughout multiple summers, he managed to build a relationship with this young girl, which made him experience warmth and affection while being cautious with physical contact. However, on the fateful day, while Jin and Hotaru are enjoying the night together, a young human boy suddenly runs through the crowd and accidentally bumps into Jin. Because Jin is a spirit, that single touch is enough to make him disappear. So yeah, throw this kid.